about now? Is that good? Are we good now? How about now? Test, test, test. One, two, three. Test, one, two, three. Test, one, two, three. All right, good. All right, so let's get going with grading. All right, so let's go through the information that I believe was sent out to your parents, and maybe you've already heard pieces of this, but we're going to go over what um, what this really means as far as you all with this class and then all your other classes and stuff like that. So um, this is basically the way district has given the guidance. Now you have until now, and from now until the 17th of April, to get your grade up in whatever class or classes that you need to. When the 17th of April happens, whatever your grade in that class is, it cannot go down below that, barring anything like an assignment that you currently have, say, missing. That might change it if it's something from before spring break, but otherwise, otherwise it is going to be something that won't be able to lower your grade. So to give you an example of what we're talking about, say you are in a class and you have a C right now, and it's like a 78%. And over the next week or two, before next Friday, week from this Friday, you get your grade up and you get to an 80. That means the lowest your grade can be at the end of the semester is a B. The lowest your grade can be is a B. If it is a B by next Friday, the 17th. Is everyone tracking so far? Throw me either thumbs up or yes in the comments so I know you guys are getting what I'm talking about, because I want to make sure that we get this step by step so that there's no confusion going forward. We got a couple that say yes and good and okay. All right, so whatever your grade is on the 17th of April, that is going to be your grade, the bottom of your grade. So if you have an A, your A does not get prettier. It is what it is. Now, it's up to you to continue your learning based on all the stuff that's going on. For this class in particular, we're a little bit different, but not so much. Um, we will be doing stuff as of the 20th of April. And if you'll notice, the 20th is after the 17th. And right now we are reviewing. So what I'm going to do pretty soon here is I'm going to unlock all of the discussion boards that you may or may not have done from the very, very beginning of the semester. I'm going to unlock them and I'm going to have them be basically due and close again as of April 17th. So if you didn't get points from before and you want to redo something, it'll be in your best interest to make sure you go back and do that. If you do, you would probably want to let me know that you did it so that I can go back and look at it. Otherwise, I may not know and I may not see it. So I would encourage you to do that. And that will be a way for you to earn some points that you may or may not have lost along the way. Now, one of the questions going forward is, well, if my grade can't lower, can my grade increase? And the answer to that is yes, your grade can increase. So, assignments that we'll be doing on a weekly basis going forward after the 20th of April, they will increase your grade, but they will not decrease your grade. So, effectively, it's not entirely this way, but you can think of it as almost like extra credit in a way. The importance is that we're trying to focus more on getting the learning accomplished as opposed to you guys being focused on the grade specifically. So you're still expected to participate, and you're still expected to to turn stuff in periodically as I ask you to, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that what is asked of you is relatively easy to get accomplished based on your own timing and stuff like that. So Um, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of what's going on. Your grade can't lower after the 17th. That is going to be your grade. And then all of the assignments that we do, that's going to be only able to improve your grade. Now, all teachers are not going to necessarily do this exactly the same. Some might say that uh, they'll put assignments in, and if it does lower your grade, then they might exempt you. Others might make it some kind of version of extra credit. It just depends on the teacher, so it's imperative that you talk to the teacher. But the um, the moral of the story is that once you're past the 17th, whatever your grade is, it can't be lower than that at the end of the semester. So that's the big thing that kind of came out from district that I'm sure you probably have heard pieces of, if not that exact thing, from other people, and that's what other districts have been doing as well. So that is what I'm able to share with you today. So what is that going to look like going forward for us? All right, so Rio Salado, they've already been pretty good about making sure that they're allowing me and allowing all the teachers to kind of do what we need to do according to district policy and all this new stuff that's coming in. So, um, what is it going to mean and what is it going to look like for Rio? And that's kind of what we're going to talk about now. So, um, when we get into new content on the 20th, basically the way it's going to work is I'll post a YouTube video in Canvas, and then some kind of assignment that will be completed by the end of the week. Your proficiency with that assignment will give you so many points. That those points will be added to the assignment that is for that week. So basically, example would be, say I give you like a 5 point written assignment that's based off of what we're doing that in that video, that you're answering a question. You would just post that answer to me. I grade it, and then the ability to answer that question will get you some, 1 through 5 points, and that will be put into the grade book, and it will increase your score. And we're going to be doing those week to week. So you're only going to have one assignment from me every week to turn in when we get into new content, but you're going to have pieces to do that aren't necessarily that exact assignment. So you might have a reading to do, you might have a video to do, you might have both of those. It just depends on the individual thing that you're doing and how that's going to be. So that's more or less how grading is going to look like. Some things about parking. Parking was asked, like, how are we going to do with parking going forward? I can say that they are almost finished with an online registry type of system. From what I understand, Mr. Utter said they were working on it. Mr. Garraway is doing that piece right now. And once that's up and rolling, I'm sure they're going to email all of your parents and you guys and let you know that it's ready to roll. But we're still just waiting for a few pieces to kind of click into place. Are there any questions as it relates to um, school, work, or anything like that you guys have? There's other problem that you want me to go over real quick before we move on to anything else. Is there anyone that has a question that you would like some clarification for, and you would like me to try to take a stab at it? Anyone at all? I'll leave it on for just a couple minutes here and see if anyone has a question. No, it looks like we're good. Okay, we got one. So our grade can't go down; it can only go up, and that goes for all classes. Right? Yeah. Um, this is. I want to say this is Katie, right? Okay. Um, so yes, the as far as grades, um, from what I was told by district uh, and what we've been given as far as guidance, after the 17th, so anything you do between now and the 17th that goes in the grade book, that might still be able to fluctuate your grade. So I'll give an example of what I mean. Say you had an assignment that was due the first week of March, right? And it was due before spring break. You turned it in, but you didn't do so hot on that assignment, and the teacher didn't put it in yet. They, for whatever reason, they were bogged down with other stuff and they forgot and they put it in. Your grade still might change between now and April 17th. If it's anything that was supposed to be turned in after spring break, or anything that was given to you after spring break, it could only improve your grade. That is my understanding, and that is what was given as far as guidance going forward. So it can only improve. That's this class. That's every class that I can think of. That's kind of how it will be. Will the assignments for my class uh, past 20th be put in as extra credit? It'll be put in as extra credit. It'll be a variation of it. So think of it kind of like a one, like I said, a 1 to 5 scale, something like that. And I have placeholder assignments currently in the gradebook, and I will evaluate based on how people are participating and whatnot. I'll evaluate what we're going to do if it's going to need to change. But yeah, if you have a B, you still can get an A. If you have a C, you can still get a B or even an A. Just depends on how where you kind of fall. But it is going to be extra credit for the assignments that are coming through. So if you do anything, it could only improve your grade, and that's the way to do it. Are the free passes for parking for highly proficient on last year's Easy Merit still available? No idea. I'm sure that that's going to be put out there once they figure out how they're doing parking. I can send Mr. Utter an email and ask him and see. But as of this moment, they haven't really said one way or the other. So right now they're just kind of um, they're still kind of in a holding pattern because they want to make sure they have the system, they want to make sure it works, and they want to make sure that there aren't any issues before um, they try to send it out to everybody. So more to follow with parking, but it is being worked on, and from what I understand, it is not too far away from getting kind of handled. All right. Any other questions that anyone would like clarification on or answers to before we kind of end this? Anything at all? All right. So real quick before we kind of end this thing for the evening, I appreciate everyone showing up to these things. I know it's in the middle of the night, and I wasn't planning on doing it, but I just got the okay from my admin to be able to share the grading stuff with you. So, um, all right. What is next week going to look like? Next week is going to be more of the same when it comes to review, but I will put out a weekly plan that will kind of have an overarching question that you should be able to with this week and next week be able to answer. It is not going to be for you to answer though. It's just saying, can you answer it now? If your answer is no, you're not sure what the answer would be, then you need to go back and look at the material and read or look at the audios that are in campus. Um, I'm trying to keep the review as light as I can because if we're gonna be doing new content pretty soon, I want you to focus on that. So we just need to get ready to go with that. So next week, in the weekly plan, it'll be kind of the same kind of schedule, but I will also post an assignment similar to the what do you mean assignment. I'll post something like that in the module that will just be due at the end of the week, and that's not even for you to actually do it. It's just so because I'm going to have to put a due date of some kind. So you're going to look at that and just kind of evaluate on your own. Do you think you could have answered that if that was an actual assignment to do? If the answer is no, then you got some work to do to refresh. If the answer is yes, then you're right where you need to be. And that's where I think a lot of us are going to be. So this is a lot of self-evaluation and making sure that everything is good to go. But ultimately, it is going to be you guys kind of telling me whether or not you are where you need to be. And this is the way to do that. So, audio, or they want to get clarification on grading, they're free to do so through this. And this is, like I said, this is what the district has approved. It's not me making it up. So we're just going to kind of roll with the punches as best we can with this whole quarantine lockdown situation. So I'll leave it open for about 15, 20 seconds more. And if anyone has any more questions, I'll let you guys kind of ask them if you want me to answer any more Q&A stuff. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great night. So we'll hang around here for, let's say, like another minute or so. If you guys have questions, ask them if you need to. Alrighty. Looks like we're all good. All right. So I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate everyone showing up and trying to get information. Please do not be a stranger. You do not have to come into the Zooms for content necessarily. Think of them as tutoring and um, a place to just kind of talk and see someone other than your parents or your siblings. Um, think of it also kind of like an Eagle Hour type of chat room type of deal. That's the general vibe that I'm trying to go with. Um, I'm not going to teach through Zoom. I'm teaching through YouTube videos that I'm going to post. But if you have questions that come up because of the YouTube videos or the reading, that's where you'll get your answers. Okay. So I hope you guys have a good night. Enjoy. I will see you on the other side.